Well, the Bronx Digital Meetup is a group of innovators looking to combine creativity and technology to better the lives of those in our communities. Here to tell us more is the main organizer of Bronx Digital Meetup, Joe Carano, and we welcome you to the show. Good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Good.
Cool. So, just to kind of talk about the how the meetup came about. I direct a business incubator, which helps people start businesses in the South Bronx. And through my work there, I met a lot of people, often people who were self-taught in technology, who were creating extremely interesting ideas. But they tended to be very separated. So my goal through work I actually had done with the Knowledge House as well, was to bring these people together to work on ideas together, collaborate and create open source projects that would be available publicly for people not only to raise their skill set up, work together to develop new projects, new applications, put the Bronx on the map in the technology sense, but also to allow people who are interested in learning about this stuff someplace to come, work with people who are doing this, on the regular, to develop their skill sets.
How eager are people? Because I had the young ladies in our last segment talk a little bit about young people 16 to 24. How eager are people to really be involved in in this world of technology and media?
Well, I mean, for younger people, we're in it already. Like, It's just part of our lives. But people are interested in becoming creators because we're already consuming this stuff on a regular basis. So there's definitely a demand for it from the people themselves. A lot of people are a bit intimidated by it. A lot of people feel like it's heavily involved in math or, it will be too hard to learn. But really, once you start applying it, once you, practice, work on projects actively, you start to develop a skill set. You solve a problem once, and you're able to. That was one of our meetups that we had. This was with Jamal Ogawa from Code Crew, great guy. He's going to be running another workshop with us probably by the end of July or early August. And he does development workshops, developing websites, back-end systems, stuff like that. The one we're going to be doing on the 12th is going to be on WordPress. So the cool thing about WordPress is number one, it's very widely used. A ton of websites.
Everybody hears the word WordPress, but what exactly is it?
So WordPress is, in short, a content management system. So it is a website framework that you could put content on, for either a blog, a business website. They have they have a lot of plugins. So plugins are basically functions the website can do that you add to your website. So if I wanted a shopping cart, I could add a shopping cart. If I wanted a forum, I could add a forum. And you don't have to build these yourself. They're already built. You just kind of plug them in. The cool thing about WordPress is you could develop a WordPress site without having to really code anything or to code very lightly, just HTML simple stuff. But you could customize your WordPress even more if you do know how to code. So it's like that. It's not something that you need to be an expert to be able to put together something that looks good. But at the same time, if you kind of push yourself to learn a little bit more, you can make it look even better.
So let me ask this question. People with websites nowadays, we see a lot of highfalutin websites, but the reality is I can really stay at home, put my own together. Now, it may not be all that in a bag of chips, but I have the opportunity and the ability to do it if I really learned.
The awesome thing about technology is, especially digital technology, web development, mobile development, apps, all that kind of stuff is, it costs $0 to learn this. It's all online. What I'm trying to do through the meetup is provide people a place to come together and learn from each other. But anyone can learn this stuff. It's just about putting the time in and putting the practice in. And the great thing about WordPress is you don't have to put that much time or that much practicing in to get a website up. So, in my work with the incubator, we support small businesses and startups in the South Bronx. We've been doing it for 2 years now. We have like 62 businesses that work out of our location currently. And a lot of them, whether they are tech related or they're not tech related, you need a digital presence. It's 2014, you need to be online if you're trying to make money. So, we provide them something like WordPress, or Wix is another one, but Wix is no coding involved at all. WordPress you could code and actually customize it a little bit more for them to actually get a web presence up. And instead of having to pay someone a couple $1,000s to build a website when you're first starting a business, that's pretty steep.
Right.
You could do it yourself. Or, even if you don't do it yourself, even if you have someone do it for you, it's important to understand how this stuff works. So number one, you're able to make an informed decision when you're building your website or having someone build it for you. And the great thing about WordPress also is you could change content, change pictures, change text very easily without coding anything at all. So it allows, for me, I do front-end websites for people, for clients. I like to use WordPress because that way they don't have to come get me later when they want to change something. They'll be able to change it themselves.
How easy is it to make the change?
I mean, you literally log in. There's a panel. You go into the page you're looking at. I mean, you can learn more about this by coming to the workshop July 12th at the Banknote Building in Hunts Point. But it's very easy. You just copy and paste stuff in. It's not the hardest thing in the world.
Give us a little bit about the Bronx Business Incubator. Very, very powerful tool there.
Yeah, so the Bronx Business Incubator has been around since January 2012. We recently got backed by an organization called BachNet. They provide business outreach to all 5 boroughs and in Newark, New Jersey as well. Great organization. They help people with their business plans, help people get funding, things like that. The incubator has been providing business support. So what we do is we provide co-working space, which is shared office space for small businesses and startups, as well as providing them with in-house business development services and technology development services. Mm-hmm. So we have legal counselors in-house that can help you set up your LLC. You know, if you have contracts, vendor contracts, client contracts, they can review it for you, all pro bono. It's all included. You know, there's a membership fee, but it's all included within the membership fee. They have financial counselors. I do systems and technology counseling for businesses. So if you do have a website, I can sit down with you and tell you what's good about it, what's bad about it, what you can change, what you can fix. That's all included with being a member. And then we also have, you know, office services, internet access, all that kind of stuff. You can work out of there 24/7. We try to cater to people who are starting businesses and give them all the support they need to make their businesses pop, to hire people, you know, and to get the South Bronx from the grassroots level building up.
What does it mean to have an incubator like that for a startup business or somebody who's just really getting started, to have that little place they can really just get, you know, get their launch off?
I am a solid believer that if you're starting a business in the Bronx, the incubator is the place to be, because one of the things that's hard about starting any business, especially when you're doing it on your own, is you may be an expert in what you do. You may, you know, if you develop apps, you may be the nicest programmer in the world. But what do you know about legal? What do you know about, you know, developing a revenue stream, developing a financial model, all that kind of stuff? So you have people in-house that can help you with all this stuff. On top of that, you're able to collaborate with other entrepreneurs. We have 60 businesses, 100 entrepreneurs working in, you know, a 12,000 square foot space. You're going to get to know other people doing interesting things. You may find business opportunity there. You may find strategic partnership, you know, opportunity there. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like the ability, it's like an environment built to help you spur your business's growth from like an idea to reality.
And I want people to also take advantage of this, because there is this WordPress workshop that we talked about earlier, and I want to get more information out there to people so that way they can be a part of it. So if you like to do the website thing, you want to find out more information about WordPress, there is this workshop that's available. And Joe, take it away.
So the WordPress workshop is going to be July 12th at the Banknote building in the incubator. The Bronx Digital is doing workshops, collaborative coding sessions, which basically is anyone who wants to get together and work on projects together. We want to provide space for that as well. And we're going to be throughout different locations in the South Bronx. The incubator is one of the main sponsors. So, you know, we're going to have a lot of events there. You can definitely come through and check it out. I'm there. I run the place basically single-handedly. So feel free to stop by. I'd be happy to talk to you about your business, about, you know, whatever website you're working on and whatever web projects you're working on. And we're going to be running, like I said, we're going to be running another event late in July, rather. And then we're trying to set up an entrepreneur panel discussion for tech entrepreneurs based in the Bronx. That's going to be in early August as well. You can check out the Meetup. It's meetup.com/the Bronx Digital Meetup. You can learn more about the incubator just by contacting me. My email is joebxincubator. It's JOEBXINCUBATOR @gmail.com.
Yeah, I got that on the bottom down there.
Cool. And also checking out bachnet.org. They're the backers of the incubator, and if you want to learn about some of their business services, you could, feel free to check that out as well. They do a lot of great stuff. If you have a small business, you need some help, either financial help or business plan, business strategy help, they're great for that.
And as I asked the young ladies in the previous segment, give me a word to give to the people, or you give the word to the people for those who might be, a little fearful, and technology is fast advancing, and they feel like they're going to get left behind, so why jump in, because I'm going to get left behind anyway?
Okay. An iOS developer, someone who makes Apple apps, gets paid $200 an hour. There's a lot of money in this. Then there's a need for people who know it, and you can learn it for free.
$200 an hour?
An hour, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
There's a lot of money in it. There's a need for it. You can learn it for free, and you'll be able to collaborate and create the next big thing. Okay. Literally from your apartment or through the Meetup or whatever. Okay. It can be done anywhere.
Well, thank you so much. And those people who earn $200 an hour, do not leave your job until you have another job. I know it sounds pretty luxurious. So I'll be back here next week.